everyone, and welcome to the Riverfront. This is episode number 470 of the World's Most Dangerous Podcast. I'm your host, Chad Dotson. With me this week, how are you, Carlos?
I'm doing well. How are you guys? Or how are you doing? Used to saying guys because there's usually more people on here, but how's it going, man?
Nate went to Puerto Rico or something. What's that about?
I don't know. I guess he's off to get married is what I hear. Left us all behind.
That's the thing. We usually record this on Thursday and post it up on Friday morning. We are actually recording this now on Wednesday because Nate is in Puerto Rico. I will be going there tomorrow. We hope to be able to record one from there, but we're not. So we thought, let's go ahead and knock one out, and then if we can record one down there, we'll do that. But Carlos, are you going to Puerto Rico with us?
I don't think I'm going to be able to make this trip, man. I got a wedding to go to. Brother-in-law's getting married.
The wrong wedding. Well, what I was I don't know if it's true, but this is the story I was given, which is that you would have been invited, all expenses paid, to Nate's wedding if you had just shown up at his bachelor party a few months ago. But you didn't show up.
I knew it was going to come around back to that somehow, one way or the other. Son of a.
That's entirely my fault. So, let's talk about the Cincinnati Reds, and let's hope Nate's not having too much fun down there. Maybe we'll catch up with him tomorrow. But this week for the Reds, lots of prospects we're going to talk about. The biggest prospect I want to mention, though, to start off, finally made his spring training debut. It's this kid named Joey Votto.
Joey Votto is back. It's terribly exciting, and we should consider him a prospect, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'd hug him.
the one prospect that we can both agree that we would hug. So what? I don't know if I don't want to ask if you've talked to him, but how's he feeling? Is he excited?
Yeah, he's excited. He's feeling like a kid out there again. It's just exciting to be back out there. It was a long road back from the surgery, and just a constant battle of rehab, having to cancel plans, just to focus everything about getting back out on the field. And now he's there, so he's happy, and now he's grinding it out, getting ready to go.
Yeah, you think about a guy like that, and what does he have to prove? Well, to him, again, I don't know, but it just seems to me like to him, he does have something to prove. He wants to keep playing this game, and so this spring training must be incredibly important to him. It's certainly incredibly important to all of us that have watched his career and want more Joey Votto in a Reds uniform. But I don't know if there's pressure on him. Maybe he's putting pressure on himself. I don't know, but it is a big spring training for the guy.
Yeah, it is. Number one, he just wants to make sure he's healthy. It's all the other things other than catching, throwing, and hitting. Everything else is what he's worried about. Making sure he's right. A tag going up the line, having to jump and do a wild reach back to the runner, diving, getting up. All the little things like that is kind of what's worrying him, and make sure that he's ready. He can check all those boxes, and he's ready to go on opening day. So it's not a given yet that he's going to be ready to go on opening day. He wants to make sure he's 100% ready to go whenever is ready to be activated. So we'll just wait and see, I guess.
Well, I saw and again, if he's not, I would love for him to be ready by opening day, but only if he judges that he's ready for opening day. My thought was, I saw a quote from him earlier this week where he basically said this injury, it could have dated back to 2015, and as far back as that. And he's been playing in pain for a while. So if he's ready on opening day, if he's ready May 1st, May 15th, June 1st, whatever, I want him as healthy as he can be and being the best Joey Votto he can be as long as he can be this season. And it's not going to help him, and it's certainly, I don't know how it's going to help the team if he rushes back. They may lose 99 games instead of 100, but so anyway, I'm with him. I want him to take his time, and yet I'm selfish. I want him in the opening day lineup because the Reds don't have any other first baseman now, as we'll talk about in a moment. So
right, yeah.
Welcome back, Joey. I guess we do need to talk about what I think was the biggest news for a certain segment of Reds Twitter and Reds fandom, I guess, which is the Reds sent a bunch of guys down to the minor league camp. And so we'll start with the big names. I don't know if it surprised you, and I'm going to ask you in a moment if it surprised you, but the three names that got optioned down, to minor league camp were, among others, but Elly De La Cruz, Matt McLain, and Christian Encarnacion-Strand, who was hitting .577, slugging 1.192, looking as good as anyone else, making me want to hug him, to be a prospect hugger. I guess the first question is, were you surprised that those three guys were sent out? And if so, why?
I was a little bit surprised just because of the timing of it. I thought we'd maybe get another week out of them, let them, face some tougher pitchers, some MLB ready pitchers, because here in the next 2 weeks, I mean, these guys are going to be full go. They're going to be ready to go. So that would be a great opportunity. Maybe they'll still come up and get some of those pinch hits later on during spring. It's not saying that they can't now, but I was a little bit surprised, but overall that they were getting moved down. No, I didn't think any of them really had a chance to make the opening day roster.
I thought Christian Encarnacion-Strand might be able to thread the needle if Votto weren't ready, and if he played well enough to force his name into the conversation. But he was the only one of those that I thought really had not even a reasonable chance, but some shot at making it to the big league roster. At the risk of agreeing with you, which I really don't like to do, I mean, I was very surprised at the timing, and I'm still not quite sure I understand the timing. All of those guys need to go to AAA or AA. I guess they will be at AAA because Noel V. Marte, who got sent down this week as well, got sent to AA. So they're going to we'll talk about him in a moment maybe, but going to teach him to play third. Or at least get him started into the transition in becoming a full-time third baseman, which is, I don't know why you can't just do that at the big league level. But we'll have that conversation in a moment. You can't do that at the big league level. It's incredibly hard. But these three guys all needed to be in at least AAA to start the season. And I don't think anybody can reasonably argue with that. Now, I would like to see them on the big league roster because, number one, I want to see chaos. I vote for chaos always. And I would rather watch Matt McLain than Matt Reynolds, for example. But to me, the only thing that was really interesting about it was that why now? I mean, you could have given him another week, 10 days, pitching against the best pitchers in the world, mostly. But I don't see the downside to. I mean, is there somebody that you need to get at bats at the big league camp? I mean, Kevin Newman, maybe, I don't know. But is there someone that you need to get that playing time to? It didn't make sense to me. The decision makes sense. The timing was just odd.
Yeah, maybe they're going to start getting, what they think who's going to make the roster more longer, games, more innings. Maybe they'll start playing 7 innings now at a time, and there's just not going to be enough at bats to go around. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I hesitate to say that anyone within the Reds organization knows more than I do, but everyone knows more than I do there. So, I mean, I'm going to presume they have some plan there. I don't know. Give those innings to Jose Barrero, but that was a little surprising. What do you think about the reaction to those guys sitting down there? Because we spend way too much time online, and there's been a lot of people hugging those particular prospects so far this year, and I don't know. I thought everyone was pretty measured about it. I thought there might be some wailing and gnashing of teeth over it, but I didn't see it if there was.
Yeah, there wasn't much to it. Everybody pretty much knew it. I think even the biggest of huggers kind of knew in the back of their mind that neither of those guys were going to make the team out of camp. It's like you said, Christian Encarnacion-Strand probably had the best chance, steer, if you want to call him that.
Some of us call him that. That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, Twitter wasn't too chaotic about it, which was kind of sad.
It was actually in some ways, and I don't want to get into the Twitter prospect hugger debate because I find myself at the center of that too often. I'm trying to stay out of the crosshairs of some of these prospect huggers for a little while anyway. But it's probably the best thing that ever happened for the guys that just are like, oh my gosh, prospects. And if that's you, fine. I really don't care. Enjoy the Reds however you want to care. But the best thing that ever happened was for the Christian Encarnacion-Strand to get sent down before his numbers started, taking a nosedive, because he's not going to hit, 500 for that much longer. For 10 days, he can do it because he's a good hitter. And so now we're going to say, oh, well, can't wait till he gets back. He goes down and hits 300 in the AAA. There are going to be people clamoring for him. And I'll be one of the ones clamoring for me. The guy is, he can't hit. I'm not degrading Christian Encarnacion-Steer or whatever you want to call him. But I don't know. I was waiting for the inevitable, 4 days in a row of, 0 for 12 or something, and all of a sudden those numbers look different, and we're not going to get it now. So,
Yeah.
Oh well. Noelvi Marte. Can we talk about that for a moment? Because I teased it a moment ago. Obviously, he got sent down. Michael Ciani sent down at the same time. Neither of those particularly surprising at all. But the news came out that the Reds are going to essentially they're officially moving Marte to third base. And we'd had some conversation here on the show and elsewhere about at some point they have to move some of these guys around. And I think I saw where you said on Twitter, and maybe I'm misquoting here, but better sooner than later, because it's as I said earlier, it's really hard. You can't just play third base at the big league level at the level you need to be at the you can't be as good at it as you need to be by just switching over there just because you're a shortstop. Now, if you're a good shortstop, you probably can learn third, but you can't do it overnight, I guess. Am I misquoting?
It's more than just fielding a ground ball and throwing hit. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of defensive schemes. There's a lot of, different plays that can be put on, shifts, knowing where to be, knowing where to go when the ball's hitting a certain area. It's just a whole new position, lack of a better word. I mean, it's tough. And people are always like saying, I'll just move him over to first. He'll be fine. You can move him to second. Like, those are still pretty hard to learn. First base is not easy to play. Have you ever tried to catch a 93-mile-an-hour two-seamer that's moved like 4 feet coming at your ankles and you're expected to make that play?
Yeah, or catch it and have to make a swipe tag or something like
hard.
that. I mean, yeah. But then again, I'm gonna push back on you.
Okay.
And actually, I'm going to say I disagree with you completely, because I once played catcher and second base in the same Little League game. And I didn't make a single error. I was
at the same time,
according to my dad, that was the coach. I was perfect. No, 3 innings at each. So it seems pretty easy to me.
Was it like the old school, like orange leg guards and chest protector?
No, I'm not quite that old.
Okay.
Actually, when I played Little League, we had masks, but we had no other protection. It was rural Virginia Little League. It was not a good time.
Watch it. Don't get in front of that ball.
Oh no, yeah. It was the days when the best coaching you got was get that elbow up, when you're batting. I heard that 1,000 times, and it's probably why I hit 210 as a high schooler. Yeah, so Marte going to Double-A, playing third base every day, potentially to Triple-A if he hits well. That's good. It's good. If again, I don't know that he's going to be anything. I don't trust any of these guys to be anything until they are something, but it's good. I guess the question becomes, what do you see happening? And it's hard to. This is complete speculation, but McLain and Elly De La Cruz potentially both going to Triple-A. Are we going to see McLain play some center field? Are we going to see McLain play some second base? I don't know. Are we going to see De La Cruz in center field? Again, it's complete speculation, but any thoughts about what you'd like to see happen?
Yeah, I'd like to see McLain become like a super hybrid utility / player, like just playing all over the field, get that bat in the lineup. Elly De La Cruz, I wouldn't mind seeing him learn some center field. I mean, it can't hurt. Throw him out there a couple of times a week. And then because Jose Barrero, he's going to go off this year. I think he's up for Rookie of the Year for the 5th year in a row now. So
go ahead and give it to him. Let's go ahead and
give it to him this year. Yeah, I mean that's going to have a lot to do with what's going on in the minor leagues of his success.
I'm going to come back to what you just said because I want to mention Barrero for a moment because that was maybe the first time that I ever was like, "Come on, Carlos, what's the deal, man? Why are you throwing water on our on our parade here?" When Barrero came up, and I don't get pumped up about prospects. I don't until I can actually do something in the big league. I don't. But with Barrero, I don't know. He fooled me. And he came and there, he came up and he was awful. And then he came up the next year, he was awful. You were all like, and you were in particular like, guys, he needs to show me something before I jump on his, his bandwagon. And I'm still waiting for him to show me something. I wish he would, but that was an early moment when I realized, hold on, I got out over my skis just a little bit with Jose Barrero. Nick Senzel was another one, but
it wasn't really me hating on him or anything like that. It was just the situation. Like, you can't put him in. You couldn't. It didn't make sense to put him in over Kyle Farmer. Kyle Farmer was playing perfectly fine, and to play fine, be an average Major League Baseball player is a lot.
It's pretty good,
and especially whenever you're coming in a race for the playoffs. I mean, that's even more pressure. And he had all this hype, and you don't know what that does to someone mentally. But it's just all of these prospects. You just got to wait. You got to show me something, because no matter what you did coming up, it doesn't hold any weight.
And I don't think that you were critical of Barrero. It was just like, show me something. I need to see it before I'm gonna believe it. And
it was all like the little things too, like even like going in an infield, like an in and out, like he was just rushing it and short hopping balls, and he got bailed out several times. Like, you could just tell something was off. Like, I don't know the kid or anything like that, but you can tell in the player how when a player is smooth, that everything is fine and everything's going well. But then you can also tell whenever it's not, whenever they're playing tense, and that's what it seemed like he was doing big time.
There's a lot of pressure on the kid.
Yeah,
at that age, there's a lot of pressure, and if you can forgive him for pressing. I hope that it's not a, I hope that he can turn it around and be the guy that some of us hoped he would be. But well, this is his chance. Now, to circle back to what we were talking about a moment ago with McLain and Elly De La Cruz playing different positions, it makes so much sense, and I take it back to a discussion I had earlier this week. The news came out that David Bell, that's Reds manager David Bell. I don't know if you know that he's the Reds manager, but he said that Nick Senzel would play outfield and play on the infield this year. And my response to that was, well, this might be the best way for him to keep a spot in the big leagues if he can play 5 different positions, because at this point, I've said for 4 straight years, all right, this is the year. He's got to show us something this year. And that kind of versatility, you can, even if you're not a great player, if you're good defensively at a bunch of different positions, you can still find you can still have a career. You can still find a role. And for Elly De La Cruz and Matt McLain, it makes all the sense in the world to me for them to want to learn to play as many positions as they can, because
for sure,
not only does that give you more opportunities in Cincinnati, but it's also, you're a more valuable commodity around the league, depending on what each team needs. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think if I were a player like Elly De La Cruz, I'd want to play shortstop, I guess. And I can't. I was, an elite high school 3-point shooter. But, no, it was not. But so I can't get in his brain. But I would want to play shortstop. But I would hope somebody would be in my ear saying, it wouldn't hurt you to learn to play center field and second base and third base, and because I don't know, it just seems like that increases your value. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. And for Nick Senzel, I mean, you got to give him a reason to keep you up there, buddy. Yeah. And so if adding another position is what helps you stay up there, then you better do it.
He's been pretty good defensively at second base, at third base, in center field in his career. He just hasn't hit since AAA. Those were good times. Remembering that time that I wrote a great feature column for Cincinnati Magazine about the next big thing, Nick Senzel.
Dang.
This is the year. Senzel and Barrero lead the Reds to the playoffs.
There we go. Here we
go. Rest in peace. Yeah. Let's see. Michael Ciani, not really anything to say there with him. Other roster cuts, Levi Stout. Some people were surprised about Levi Stout getting sent down, and I thought he might be in the mix to be on the staff, but not really that surprised. Nick Solak. God, these are the guys we're talking about.
I couldn't pick these guys out of a lineup. There's no way. There's no way.
David Bell couldn't either. I'm sure of it.
He's like,
here's what I want.
Oh, you're over here. Hold on. Hey, Nick.
Nick. Oh, Jake Fraley. Oh, sorry, TJ. I thought you were Jake Fraley. Oh man, this is where we are.
Yeah.
I saw someone on Twitter, a big Reds fan, I can't remember who it was, but they were out at spring training and they were like, I'm really having a blast drinking a beer and watching the ball game in Arizona. And I don't recognize any of these people that are wearing that Wishbone C. Like, yeah, I get it. That'd be me too.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Let me ask you, there is something I particularly want to ask you about. It's Graham Ashcraft, but we'll get to that in a moment. But I want to, before we do that, I'm going to load you up for the Graham Ashcraft question. Chris Garber and I have been talking for years about going out to that fantasy camp they do. You know, they have that fantasy camp.
Yeah.
Would that be good content to go out there and watch me, how horrible I play? Would that be great content for the Riverfront?
That would be amazing. That would be, I mean, the numbers would go through the roof, the roof. I mean, I can't even speak thinking about it right now. Would you go pants up or pants down?
Well, in general, I go pants up. Just that's a rule that I have. But if you're talking, I don't want go pants down at all. Around a bunch of other guys. But you talking about if I want the old school stirrups like from the 80s.
Okay,
I
got you.
Wearing, you know, those thin stirrups, you know, they used to have back in the 80s. That's what I want.
I wonder if they let those old folks wear metal cleats, or they all have to. So maybe they just go rubber so they don't hurt each other.
I don't know. I'm not sure anybody's running hard enough or sliding hard into someone to. I figure I need to get out there before I get to be like 65 years old because, you know, while I can still move around a little bit, have a little bit of an advantage over some of those old guys because I've seen some of those old guys. And I don't know. So we'll probably have to get you to come out and do some filming or something to make fun of me.
That would be amazing.
Graham Ashcraft. He exited a Reds game early. It was a scary moment. It was, I mean, really was horrifying. I was in tears watching it. You know, he pitched 2 good innings. He struck out 5, allowed only 1 hit. And in the 3rd inning, gives up a solo home run. Then he loads the bases with 1 out and then throws a slider and something looked like he's injured his leg. And that was it. Reds manager
he should have just took the ball and walked off.
He should have just.
I don't want to pitch anymore. You know what? I'm taking this ball. We're done.
So Graham Ashcraft is now in intensive care, is what we're here to report to you. It's a sad situation. We wish him the best of luck, but it looks like he may not make it through the week. He goes to the dugout and just hangs out and watches the game for a little while. What are your thoughts on that? He had a cramp. He had a cramp.
When it first happened, and I saw the trainer out there with him, it wasn't like oh my God, because it was, you know, I would have freaked out if it was, you know, Hunter Green or Lodolo, but it was Ashcraft. I was like, oh gosh, here we go. Because I thought it was something with his shoulder or with his arm because he didn't look like he was in any pain. He wasn't hobbling. He wasn't doing anything. And then they start telling him it was a cramp. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. A freaking cramp? You don't even try to stretch it out to keep throwing? Nothing. Just, get me out of here. I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, right. If it's something that you're like, this could be I don't want to exacerbate this problem. You know, this could be it was a cramp. And I've had cramps. I don't leave my job. No, listen, I'm sorry, Graham Ashcraft.
I got one question for you though.
All right, let's hear it.
How do you cramp up when you're in the best shape of your life in the middle of a game?
In the middle of a game, best shape of your life, you're literally a professional athlete. I don't know. You tell me.
Don't you just need to be hydrated?
Seems like it.
To not cramp up?
I mean, it's, you know, what are you not doing? Come on. Well, then again, you look at Graham Ashcraft, I'm not sure he's in the best shape. He may be in the best shape of his life. He's not in the best shape of my life. I mean, that's all I'm saying. He's a good guy. But we did a little research, and, you know, we've made fun a few times here on the show about that time last year. If you all saw the game where he had some smelling salts and to keep going.
Yeah.
We found out why he had to have the smelling salts. He took a bite of ice cream in the dugout, got a brain freeze, needed some smelling salts so he could make it back out to the mound. It was a scary situation. It was terrifying. Rest in peace, Graham Ashcraft. I think I'm going to get some hate for that. I don't know why. I just feel like I'm going to get yelled at about that. It was nothing, he told Charlie Goldsmith after the game. It was nothing.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. Cool, dude.
I wonder if he went like on the backfields and finished the rest of his innings.
Well, see, that's the thing. And, you know,
to get the pitch count back up.
Yeah, I mean, we're joking about a cramp and all that, but that's the point. I mean, we're inching closer to opening day where you're going to be, hopefully, we're going to be stretched out to, you know, you'll be the third starter of the year. It's already been announced. You need to get innings. You need to get some work right now. And
he's got to work on that third pitch.
Please work on that third pitch. Graham Ashcraft. I got a feeling we're going to have some fun.
That was so
Graham
weird.
Ashcraft.
Such a weird take me out of this game moment.
By the way, if you're not watching on YouTube, you're going to have to endure us a little bit. Did you have a logo on your cup there that you were drinking out of?
Sure did, baby.
The Texas Longhorns?
All the way to the Final Four. Is that what they call it?
That is what they call it. Yeah. Is that the number 2 seed, Texas Longhorns?
Yeah, they should have been a 1. Smoking Kansas by 20 twice in a week.
They did. But I got to say, the number 4 seed, University of Virginia Cavaliers, coming for them, man, in the Final Four.
Dang.
Virginia's not going to make it to the Final Four.
Neither is Texas.
Virginia's going to probably get killed by Alabama. Sorry, I shouldn't say it that way. If you're a fan of Alabama, they do tend to kill people. That's not good. I shouldn't say that. I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna have to edit that one out. Oh man. We need to have. I think we've decided that we need to have, now that we've, you and Tim have kind of joined the crew here, so the riverfront is growing, and we need to have our like riverfront, company retreat or something in Puerto Rico. Unless you have somewhere else you'd rather have it. Any suggestions where we should have our company retreat?
Austin.
But we'll forget to tell you that we were there like we did last time.
I'll just be there waiting at the gates.
Oh, Austin. Austin's a good town. Austin's a good town. Oh man. Yeah, I'm still sorry about that. Do we want to talk about Bally Sports? I mean, I don't even know
what's going on. There's been so many articles and how it's going to be free for Reds fans, and like, I don't know. I don't care because it doesn't affect me. I still have to buy MLB package to watch the Reds. So
right. Yeah. No. I mean, I want to care. I think there does not seem to be any scenario under which I would not be able to watch Reds games, and we can dig into it just a little bit. So, the thing that I don't know if it bothers me, but it just seems like it's set on a tee. Speaking of my baseball career, that's when I was good. They put it on a tee. Oh man, I could hit the ball.
You hit it wherever you want.
That's back when I was good, man. T-ball. See, I've completely lost my train of thought. The Reds and the Castellans will use this and they're already using it as an excuse for why we don't have any money. Now, there was a report this week that the Cincinnati Reds are now estimated to be worth $1.39 billion. $1.39 billion with a B. So, Doug Gray reported this, and he was getting some hate on the Twitters because.
Don't you love when people don't even read the articles?
Didn't even read it. Are you saying they've got $1.39 billion to spend? They don't have $1.39 billion to spend. No, I didn't suggest that. I mean, Doug will say stupid things all the time, but that's not one particular stupid thing Doug said. No, but now that valuation is actually a little down from last year, and that's because of this whole TV. It's unclear what's going to happen, but. So anyway, here's what happened. The Bally Sports has declared bankruptcy, and there are four teams that are expected to have their contracts rejected by Diamond Sports Group, who basically owns the Bally Sports. And those four teams, the Reds are one of those four teams. And okay, so the Reds are going to have that rejected. Baseball comes out and says, well, if that happens. They haven't missed any payments yet, so the Reds haven't lost any money yet on this, by the way. But If that happens, the 4 teams, by the way, the Reds, the Cleveland Guardians, the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the San Diego Padres. Now, 3 of those 4 teams increased their payroll this offseason. I'm just saying. Not all of those teams are using this scenario as a reason to slash payroll. But MLB says, we're going to have games. We're keeping the broadcast teams together. Either Bally Sports is going to continue to do it. That's what they're planning on now. Or MLB will take it over. So, I'm like you. I feel like I need to follow it so that I can talk about it here. But I really don't care. I can't get whatever. It's.
What are they going to do for like watching them at the bars? All the bars are going to have to download MLB TV.
Now that's all right. You just figured out how it might affect us. I'm thinking about watching it here on my place. Just Chromecast in it or something. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, imagine going into. I don't even know whatever. I'm not going to give anybody any free plugs on the riverfront, but whatever, your local sports bar, and you ask to put the game on, they're like, we don't have it. What?
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, I'll give a plug that they're not paying us any money yet, but they are friends of the show, and we'll see about doing a live show there at some point. We've had some conversations, but the Holy Grail, what if they, are they going to? I know, right? Is that going to be? They're gonna have to download some app, and what if it doesn't? It's not compatible. Maybe they have to buy a Roku player. If you ever, I'm trying to think of the most random thing you could buy a Roku player. Amazon Fire Stick. You gotta get one of those at the bar.
They're just gonna open up all the windows during the home games, and you hear the crowd yelling. There'll be somebody like running back and forth. It was a single up the middle. Scored 1 run. Come back and tell everyone.
Yeah, it could be like I don't know how many of you have ever watched the Ken Burns baseball documentary, but back in the olden days, when I was a kid, they would have, like say, in the 1910s, or 1919, the Reds won the World Series in 1919. They won it completely fairly. They would have a telegraph to send the play-by-play back to Cincinnati, and they would have like a big, screen, and so people would be standing on the street watching, not a screen, but a big like board, and they would manipulate it manually, single, and move a little guy to first base or something, That's what it's going to be like. We're going to be standing on the street watching up at some, hand-operated scoreboard telling us what happened. We're going back to 1919. Oh my goodness.
That's awesome.
Oh, well. Yeah, that'd be good. Every city will have to have their own. So the Reds have been getting the crap kicked out of them lately. I don't know if you've been watching the spring training games.
I haven't really paid attention to any of the scores. I'll just check the box scores and see how certain people did, but I haven't noticed them losing.
They gave 8 runs to the Brewers, lost 8-0. 8 runs to the Dodgers, lost 8-1. Gave up 8 runs to the Rangers. That was a nail biter, 8-7. Gave up 11 runs to the Mariners, 8 runs to the Cubs. They won a game against the Padres that they gave up 9 runs. It's been this pitching staff is.
It's because Ian Jabot's not here. He's coming back, though.
Did you see him pitching for Great Britain? That was fantastic.
The stupid tee fell off. I'm like, come on. Why does it have to be a Reds guy? Of course it does. Of course it does.
It has to be a Reds guy who has a T in his name that is silent, Ian Jabot. Oh, my. And we've been making fun of these Great Britain jerseys. It literally looks like someone used Microsoft Paint to design these stupid jerseys. It's embarrassing. We're 2023.
And they heat pressed them on.
They heat pressed them on and the tee fell off. It was so funny. My son played travel baseball for years and had some gorgeous uniforms, man. Their team would always have amazing uniforms. I'm going to post all the great uniforms he had over the years on his travel teams, He played for a outfit called the Heaters for many years. And every single year they had better uniforms than these stupid Great Britain jerseys. That's like a country. That's a country.
Somebody's got to sponsor them, right?
How did that happen?
I mean, Ian Jabot can buy them all uniforms. He's got some money. I mean, what's a 2 sets of uniforms cost?
I mean,
$2,000.
Yeah, somebody could have just ponied up a few bucks there. I mean,
I would have got that if I was a big leaguer, and I'm like, yeah, we're not wearing this.
Honestly, if they had just asked me, I would have said, all right, I'm gonna put my name like somewhere on the sleeve or something, or put a Riverfront logo or something. Maybe I'll just pay for uniforms, but let me design them. We're not going to use Microsoft Word or whatever, just the default font. It's so embarrassing. Oh my goodness! And it was also ironic that Great Britain had a problem with the tea because we had a tea party once in America where Britain got the short end of that stick as well. So I don't know. That's a 1700 era joke. Sorry about that one. That was for you, Bill Lack. Bill's gonna send me an angry text. I love you, Bill. You know I do. The World Baseball Classic. I can't get into it.
No,
you're into it. I know, but I can't get into it. Why not?
Why? What's the matter with you?
I want the U.S. to dominate, and they're not.
Yeah. So me and my buddy were talking about this. Baseball needs to treat this like the World Cup. Every 4 years, have it in the middle of the season. Everybody sends their best, showcase it, first time here in the US, next time it's in Japan, next time it's in Australia, wherever. Just grow the game. I mean, if the World Cup in soccer and they can stop their Premier League, then baseball can go ahead and stop for a little while. Every 4 years. I mean, how great would that be to see the best pitching and the best hitting? Like USA, Dominican, Venezuela. I mean, those matchups would be incredible. I mean, when do we ever get to see the best players like that? I mean, we get to see it in an all-star game once a year, sort of, kind of. But I mean, this would be some next level stuff. And we just came off arguably one of the greatest World Cups ever. Everybody was into it. Yeah. And I don't know. We were just getting excited talking about it, like how awesome that would be. And I just don't understand why they won't do something like that. Grow the game.
Grow the game is the key. When the World Baseball Classic was first conceived, I was basically like, okay, this is fun. It's a good idea. I like it. I like the idea. But you're not getting the best players all the time. There are a lot of good players playing, obviously, but you're not getting all the best players playing because of when it is. And I'm like, and I bought the argument that, well, you can't do it in the middle of the season or something like that. But then I did watch this last World Cup, and they literally stopped the Premier League. They stopped La Liga. They stopped Serie A. They stopped the Bundesliga. These are European soccer leagues. They just stopped. They literally just quit playing so that all their players could go play in the World Cup. And it was amazing. It was fun. Questionable locale, obviously. I don't know that we want to put the World Baseball Classic in Qatar, but there are lots of places you could play it. And the point that's most compelling here is that concept of growing the game, because listen, if it weren't for the World Cup, there are a lot of countries that would not care as much about soccer as they do, and I think the United States is one of those. I really do believe that. I think if you want to get the rest of the world, the entire world, interested in baseball, this is a great way to do it. Nowhere, no other sport. I mean, we talk about soccer, but basketball. Think about what international basketball has done for the sport around the world. I mean, it went from the United States being completely dominant and killing everybody to everybody else taking it seriously, and now it's there's competition. I don't know. I just think Rob Manfred should jump on board for the grow the game part, but as a fan, oh my goodness, I'd be all in, and I would also believe that U.S. fans would start being like these, Korean fans and Venezuelan fans, and just going nuts at these games. It would change the way fans approach baseball, and I'm all in for it.
That's one of my favorite parts about it, is watching like Venezuela play the Dominican, Puerto Rico play Mexico. Like, those crowds are into it. They live this stuff. I mean, that's what games are like over there. When I went to go play in the Venezuelan Winter League, that's what it's like every day. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's so fun to play, because you're like, you can get lost in it here in the US just playing, in a major league game. You're like, okay, going to work, got to do this, do well, the crowd's going to cheer, do bad, they're going to boo. Over there, it's every pitch they're hanging on to.
And I mentioned Korea earlier because there's a good follow on Twitter that's constantly sending Korean clips my way because Korean bat flips and they're going nuts and there's cheerleaders on the dugout. Why is it not like that in America? How have these other places, they treat it like soccer, frankly, while America is just golf clap and
we're too cool
scorecard. You think so?
I think so. I think we're too cool to do it. To be a grown man and going and cheering and singing and are you bringing bongo to the game? I saw somebody got killed earlier today for saying they were playing a bongo and it wasn't a bongo. I don't even know what the instrument was in the Venezuelan dugout, but they were doing it.
But I go to FC Cincinnati games.
How are those?
They're going. It's crazy. It's fun. They're going nuts. It's just like European soccer. I mean, it really is.
Oh, okay.
It's just baseball. Baseball is really the only sport in America. If you think about it, I mean, look at college basketball. Probably my favorite sport. People go nuts. College football. It's the closest thing to European soccer that we have. College football. But baseball is why?
That's weird.
The more I think about it, the more I'm like getting upset about it. Actually, I want to have fun at baseball games.
Next game you go to, you and Nate, you guys need to bring some instruments.
Bring a bongo.
Y'all will be escorted out or end up in a fight by the bottom of the third.
That'd be good content. Hashtag content. Oh my goodness! But I still don't know why I can't get into it. I think maybe it's just because.
What about the upcoming rounds?
Yeah, maybe. But the problem is, I'm so focused on the Reds usually. But this might be an ideal time to just ignore the Reds for a little while.
Yeah, give yourself a couple of weeks.
I could use a break. You really don't know. I could use a break. Goodness. So where are we in the World Cup or the World Baseball Classic? What's happened? Who's winning? I'm really not paying much attention. I see the U.S. is.
Canada is playing Mexico right now to see who advances. It was a pretty good game.
What happened to the poor Canadian pitcher? Like a 19-year-old or something.
Yeah,
that was not fun.
You couldn't fit a grease BB up his booty.
He was not having a good time.
It was like, what is happening? So, I would have probably been way worse at age 19.
Yeah, can you imagine facing Mookie Betts? And I mean, goodness gracious, he's from Saskatchewan or somewhere, but he left and went to some academy in Georgia, and he's in someone's minor league system. I can't remember who. So I mean, he's a real pitcher, but
is it the Rangers maybe.
Yeah, maybe the Rangers, but still, a 19-year-old, you have to be a real 19-year-old to be able to face Mookie Betts, for example.
Yeah, just like, and if you hit him, you're going to be the most hated man in the
right? In the stadium. Break his wrist, hit him on the wrist. Oh, he's out for 6 months.
So you basically take off half away. You take away half of the plate because you don't want to go in 19-year-old and be the reason why Mookie Betts is out for the year.
And you can't give Mookie Betts that type of an advantage, or any of those guys. This goes back to what you were saying about doing it just stopping everything and doing the World Baseball Classic. They've been having such trouble with the pitching. Again, I'm not really paying attention, but I'm kind of paying attention. And, there are pitch limits on some of the pitchers, and pitchers can't go back-to-back. Relievers can't go back-to-back days because, their big league teams don't want them to. This is not a real test of baseball talent. It's a good idea that's being imperfectly managed. And I think you've come up with the exact way to make it better. I really do.
Yeah, it's tough because you got to get ready for your season. I don't know how it works. If they get hurt, do they still get that guaranteed money from their team? Because that's a huge part of it.
You would think they would, I guess. Why would they do it? If not, why would you take the chance if you're some of these fringe guys?
That's why I don't think some of those pitchers don't for the U.S. Because we had Adam freaking Wainwright opening the first game for Team USA. Are you kidding me? 40-year-old just slanging poo up there.
Oh, we're not going to make fun of 40-somethings. First of all, I didn't say that.
I forgot to tell you, so I can.
Okay, all right. Well, all right. I am as well. But that's a rule here on the riverfront. I didn't give you the rule book yet, but we don't make fun of old guys. But yeah, Adam Wainwright. First of all, he's a Cardinal, so screw that. I don't know. Yeah, it's just the more, and you mentioned this the other day, this idea of doing it and just like the World Cup and stopping things. I'm just like, it's so perfect. It's so perfect because you would, somebody like me that's more focused on the Reds, I would not have the Reds to focus on. And so I would be all in on that. You know, I'm a big soccer fan. I hate to say it. I watch every single single game that Tottenham Hotspur plays. I watch it. I'm a moron. I get up at 9 a.m. sometimes and go down to Penny Lane Pub and watch the soccer game. I'm sorry, the football game. And
yeah, I wish I could get into it like that.
You need to pick a team. You need to pick a team. That's what happened to me. I tried like 4 times to get into it, but once I picked a team, it's now been since 2009 or something, and I've been as obsessed as. Even as other, I don't watch the NBA hardly anymore. I don't watch the NFL hardly anymore. The Bengals have got me back into it a little bit, but pick a team, and I would encourage you not to pick Tottenham Hotspur. Pick a good team that won't frustrate you. But then when they stopped, I'm like, all right, World Cup, let's do this. I'm all in. And there are Tottenham guys playing for 7 different countries, so I'm watching all those teams play. And it would be the same with the Reds guys. The Reds have players on how many different rosters in this World Baseball Classic? Just about all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially Ian Jabot, whose tee fell off.
I hope the Red City Connects are like that. You say Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah. Oh, that would be brilliant. That was the news this week. There was sort of a leak of the socks, and there's a rumor, I guess, that the Reds City Connect jersey. If you don't know what City Connect jerseys are, go look them up. I've been looking forward to the Reds getting their shot at the City Connect. I like those City Connect jerseys
for sure.
Uniforms. That would be hilarious. We had these crazy great socks, and then just all black uniforms that just said REDS in Arial font across the front. Sign me up. Man. Oh, I'll buy one of those. Oh my goodness. Carlos, what else is going on? Is there anything else we need to talk about these Cincinnati Reds? I think we've just about worn it out.
Yeah, not yet. Not so much right now. Not a whole lot going on.
No, I think I'm ready for the season to start. We're at the sort of the point in spring training where it's like, all right, we had fun at the start. It was exciting. So maybe I just need to get into the World Baseball Classic to get me through these dog days of the spring.
Yeah, Texas. USA needs to win tonight to advance.
Who are they playing tonight? Doesn't matter.
I don't even remember.
Jesus. Yeah, I saw it, but I don't remember either. Well, I may watch them tonight because starting tomorrow, March Madness, the National Collegiate Athletics Association tournament starts. The University of Virginia plays their number 4 seed. They play against Furman. Furman in the first round. Furman from the Southern Conference. I don't know. Texas, they're playing pretty well. They put it on Kansas. They really might.
They were like toying with them too.
Yeah, they might make a deep run. Now, Kansas didn't have their coach.
Neither does Texas.
That's a good point. Texas's coach is now coaching Ole Miss. That didn't take long.
Ole Miss was like, we don't give a damn. Come on.
Bring it on. I heard that actually game 1, they're going to have a giveaway. Ole Miss. They hired Texas's former coach, Chris Beard. And first 20,000 fans get free wife beaters. I think I heard that. I don't know if it's true or not. Free wife beater T-shirts.
Oh man,
that's not
allegedly.
Allegedly, and we shouldn't make fun of that situation. But Ole Miss, and I'm going to make fun of it. Whatever. It's Ole Miss. Screw Mississippi. If you're from Mississippi, just unsubscribe now. No, don't do that. Don't do that. But if you're from Alabama, no, we've got a patron from Alabama. I better not say that either.
Man, I don't even know how you can cheer for that team, even being an Alabama fan.
It's questionable. Brutal. It's questionable. Questionable. I'm not going to call out our member of our family that's from a big Alabama fan. I'm not going to call you out, but we're a little disappointed in you for not cheering for Virginia in the South region. That's all I'm saying. You should be cheering for Virginia in the South.
Gotta hit him up on the Slack.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's going to mention as soon as he unsubscribes. So, well, Carlos, this is fun, man.
USA's playing Colombia.
San
Martin.
Ooh,
Reaver.
Reaver San Martin.
Mhm.
Outstanding. Actually, I'm going to watch that. And
9 o'clock, buddy.
And
Get
I
your
was
coffee in
now.
you.
Hold on, is that 9 o'clock Central Time?
Yes.
All right.
10 o'clock
so
Eastern.
Is that how that works? I thought it was like 4 o'clock
That's what I was
on
told.
Saturday Eastern Time. I don't understand how time zones work. All right. Well, this has been really sort of the most embarrassing episode of the Riverfront we've ever had, and I apologize for that.
I'm glad I could be a part of it.
I don't know. It's as much fun as I've had in a long time. And the story, what I'm learning here is that just stay out in Puerto Rico, Nate. We don't need you.
Have
we don't
fun,
need you
Nate.
at all.
Hope you got your sunblock.
Yeah, really. Nate, I'm excited to be there for your wedding and long and happy marriage. Good luck. We may try to record from Puerto Rico tomorrow. I will see. But thanks, everyone, for listening and supporting us. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Riverfront Cincy. Thank you to our supporters at patreon.com/Riverfront Cincy. Recorded early this week, so we didn't get a chance for viewer mail. We'll get back to that next week. Carlos, final thoughts for us?
Go Team USA. Stay healthy, Reds. No more cramps. See you in 2 weeks.
No more cramps for Carlos Guevara and Graham Ashcraft. This is Chad Dawson saying so long, everyone.